This is why so many Christian men are losers. Now, a lot of people will say that's such a heartless thing to say. That is not Christ-like. You cannot say that. But, well, first of all, it has nothing to do with Christ-like. And second of all, I don't care. Okay, we need someone that will embody the other side, alright? We've had too many churches, too many people talking about this nice guy form of Christianity that is not biblical, and it's also making people see Christians as losers, thus averting them away from Christianity. And this is why I call the idea losers. Right, and I talk about an idea because I wouldn't call a specific person a loser most of the time, but I'm certainly going to talk to a group or an idea as losers, right? And the problem with these Christian men is they're trying to use their personal ineptitude, okay, their problems, their weaknesses, and they kind of shield it with Christianity. So, for instance, let's say someone is not confrontational, okay, they're kind of weak in spirit, and they're kind of like, oh, well, you know, I don't want to say anything bad, okay, in other words, they're a pussy, okay, let's just be honest. And what they'll do is, instead of admitting that and then trying to transform and change, as Christianity would have them do, because you have to be strong in spirits, they just soy face, go like, well, you know, I'm a Christian, so, you know, we're told to be nice. We're not supposed to do anything, you know, like, mean ever. It's not like Jesus, you know, called people, you know, children of Satan. It's not like, you know, Jesus ever, you know, whipped people. I mean, that never happened, right? And this is the problem with that. Okay, there's two problems. One, it's unbiblical. That's the first and foremost problem. Christian men are called to be strong. Christian men are called to be masculine. And I'll even go a step further. The Bible gives a chauvinistic account of men and women. And that sounds like a very controversial thing to say because chauvinism is basically equated with misogyny. I'm not a misogynist. I don't hate women. But let's just be honest. What does the Bible say about men and women in creation? God was looking for servants of Adam, or helpers of Adam, to use a nicer word there. I think it does say helpers. Helpers for Adam. And then God created woman. Woman was created for man, as Paul said. And not give woman authority to teach a man within the context of a church because of the fall. The woman transgressed. Why did the serpent pick Eve? Have all these things go through your head. The woman is told to submit to God, submit to her husband as God in both Peter and in Paul's church letters. That's what the Bible says. The Bible, and one other one, when Paul speaks about being strong in faith, he doesn't say, well, just be like kind of nice, be kind of strong, you know, kind of just do that. No, Paul says, no, be strong like men. Like men. Men are supposed to be strong, right? And sometimes this strong brooding, you might call it, will result in them being a little bit mean. Now here's the thing. There's nothing wrong inherently with being mean, right? There's a problem with being mean out of spite, out of a mean spirit, anger, because, I mean, we can name plenty of instances where Jesus was mean, and we can also name plenty of instances of Jesus being nice. So what does that mean? You don't come away with this Christian concept of, well, this modern Christian concept of, well, just be a nice guy, you know, just have a smile all the time. Oh, don't work out, because that's, like, hedonistic and wrong, and we're also pacifists. I mean, if you play a video game and, like, you punch someone, I mean, that's as bad as punching someone in real life. Like, they're just so... There's no masculine energy at all. It's like the church feminizes them completely. The women are more masculine than the men in the Christian churches now, which is just sad. I mean, that's just a disaster. Because now the gender roles are being reversed. Right? Because now you got all these female pastors, now you got all these women instructing men on how to be men. Real quick, I want to make a segment talking about my Discord, which is completely free, and I'm talking about it because, honestly, in these YouTube videos, I can't go fully in depth on the more advanced information, and there's some things I can't talk about on YouTube, so that's why I have the Discord. You can access me there for free. It's not too crazy yet, so if you ask me a question in there, I'll be able to answer. And I have a channel where I specifically send more advanced and useful information every single day. Right now I'm doing 2 to 3 posts a day. In any case, let's get back to the video. Join the Discord in the description. It doesn't work. And it happened not because women are these inherently evil creatures who are plotting and scheming on the downfall of men because they're secretly feminists. Although many of them do have feminist tendencies, the reason why is because, I mean, what Christian men are there to go like, oh, he's a man, I'm going to submit to him, That's a subconscious process. Mostly don't actually say that in their mind, but they act it out, right? And this relates to not only attitude, but also appearance. I'm going to talk more about this later in the stream, but, it's not good to look like a loser either. Like, if you're fat, that's a problem, okay? It's like, some of them about fitness, they're like, well, I'm a Christian, it doesn't really matter that much because, I'm with God, I'm going to go to heaven, I'm just worried on focus on God. Hey, bro, I don't know if you forgot this, but you're a human being, and the Bible talks about what you should do on earth, okay? And one of those things is take care of your temple. If you are fat, that is a problem. If you are weak, that is a problem. If you are ugly, because being ugly has a lot to do with how you take care of yourself. Some of it's genetic, like if you got born with half a skull, and your face is like, or you got born, kind of, special, and you're like, then okay. All right. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that, don't take care of themselves and they just have issues that they could easily fix if they just, took a little effort. That is a problem. Okay? You need to stop being so nice. And you might say I'm a little bit mean. Okay. I never said I'm the nicest guy ever. Maybe I am a little bit mean. But what I do know is we need more of this energy in Christian spaces. I have no issue with these other Christian YouTubers. I think a lot of them are in the good... You're supposed to judge other people in spirit, not in their actions or project anger onto them. So, these other people that are talking about, nice guy Christianity, I'm not talking about them in a very spiteful, negative way. Because ultimately, a lot of them have the heart in the right place. They're trying to do the right thing. So, I'm not saying kick them out. What I'm saying is, we need more of this energy, okay? We need more people affirming this type of message, and as far as I can tell, we have no big figures that are doing that for us on a large scale, kind of this brooding way, like I don't want to use the word bad boy, but I think you get what I mean. I'm trying to say that. You need a bit more of that energy, and I guess that's what I'm doing. So, yeah. Stop being a loser.